Alright guys, so if you're watching this video, hey, what's up guys? Today I will be doing a beginner video on the basics of guitar and, just how to progress. This is a very important video, especially for beginners, and this is something me personally, I haven't seen. It's a different approach, I guess, but I'm gonna teach you your first riff. And by the way, this is a yapping sesh, so if you don't want to hear a whole lot of yapping, you're gonna have to click off the video, dude, because there's a whole lot of yapping. It's about not only just like learning it, but it's about the approach you should take at guitar. You'll see what I'm talking about later. So the first riff you're going to learn, this is like especially for metal. I'm only going to teach you one riff and then some chords. This is just from metal, by the way. The other chords are, you can use it for anything, but I'm just going to teach you right now the metal part. So power chords. Power chords are super simple. It is literally just two fingers, 1 and 3. It's kind of like, if you can't really stretch your fingers if you have smaller hands, then just use your pinky. Or what I see some beginners doing is just actually like kind of making a bar chord. I find that a little bit harder, a little bit more complicated. You're going to be slower. If you lose that pinky, you're going to be a lot faster, and it's going to be a lot easier. But here's the first riff. It is Iron Man by Black Sabbath. So it's very simple. It just goes 2, 5, 7, 9, 10, back and forth on the 10 and 9. Back to the 5, then slide up to 7. So if the power chords right now a little too hard for you, you do one finger, and it sounds like this. And another thing, don't base your tone on mine. You're not gonna, especially if you're a beginner, you're not gonna be able to get it, because I'm using a rat pedal, expensive. It's like $300 amp. It's not expensive. With a $700 guitar, you're not gonna be able to fucking get it just like that. It takes a good bit. Okay. Now, we're gonna get to the chords part. Now, this is a domain where you most definitely will have a better guitar than me, because this is I think $20 guitar from Ross. Hold up, let me change picks. What is back here? This is like my junk guitar that I stole from my sister because she was playing and I wanted an acoustic. But I mean, it works. So the basic chords that you will learn, that's out of tune. Hold up. Yeah, the B strings out of tune. Yeah, now it's in tune. So basic chord you're gonna learn is E minor. I'm trying to make it as visible as possible because my other fingers get in the way. You're gonna want to do it with your middle finger and your ring finger. Don't do it with your pointer finger and middle finger. Do it with that, because it's just gonna make your chord transitioning slower, because you're gonna learn other chords, and that's a bad habit you're gonna have to break. So that's E minor, just 2nd fret, A, D, and then the little bit harder chord is A minor. It is using 3 fingers now, so you're gonna put your your pointer finger on the 1st fret on the B string, and then you're gonna basically make like an E minor shape right here. Just move it up. That's like the best way I can explain it without going too much in depth, because I don't really want to get stuck up on this. I'm trying to make this video as short as possible. And then you're gonna have D, This is a little bit of a harder chord because it's like a little bit weird to the fingers. So you're gonna put your middle finger on the 2nd fret E, then your pointer finger on the 2nd fret G, then your ring finger on the, you're gonna kind of make like something like that. That is just, that's a major, and then I'm pretty sure that's major, right? I don't know what that is. That's a major right there. You can go in the G. It's gonna be more happier. E minor and A minor is gonna be a little bit more sad. You're gonna use it for sad songs. Now we're going to get into the mindset side of guitar playing. So, mindset, the two most important things when it comes to learning guitar and just getting good at it is mindset is number one. Or no, number one's discipline. Mindset's number two. The way you approach guitar will depend, or not depend, will just basically prove on how fast you're gonna learn it. If you approach the guitar from a, I want to learn some Campfire songs, you're not. I mean, you're gonna learn faster, of course. You're gonna get, it's gonna be easier. That's why. But if you want to become like a successful guitarist, and I don't mean like money wise, I mean just like playing wise. If you want to become a successful guitarist, playing wise, you're gonna have to step outside of your box and learn harder songs. What do I mean by that? Or elaborate at them if you want me to fucking explain somehow. What I mean by that is what's the fucking way I can explain this? In your genre that you want to get into, or if you want to get into all genres, you're going to have to start off, with a riff that is going to challenge you. You're going to perfect it, and you're just going to get better and better and better. Think of it as leveling up. Okay. The major problem I see with, just shittier guitarists is that they learn the beginner riffs and they don't really, they just stay in the same playing level. The way I did it was I learned the beginner riffs. I learned a harder riff, then a harder riff, then a harder, like a riff I couldn't play, and you just make much larger leaps compared to someone who's just learning one Nirvana riff, one Nirvana riff, one Nirvana riff, one AC/DC riff, and it just goes up. One Metallica riff. They're gonna learn a lot slower. And another thing is you have to have an end goal. You have to know what you're gonna want to do. When I first got the guitar, I immediately knew, well, I can't sing. Okay, I want to play guitar, but I also want to be shown off. So I decided lead guitarist. You know what I mean? I wanted to be the center of attention. Lead guitarist. I chose lead guitarist, and immediately the day I got my guitar, I learned a little bit of rhythm, but it was mostly just fucking lead guitarist practicing. Now, was that the right approach? I don't know. I went through a lot of, what the fuck's wrong with my elbow? I went through a lot of hardships, a lot of different, cliffs, that I just couldn't get over. But I just overcame it, obviously. If you've seen my Instagram or TikTok or anything, if you've seen my work, you'll know I'm not that bad of a guitarist. Just mostly, and I've been playing for about a year and a half. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, man. I've been playing it for a year and a half. I'm still learning, but I just know how to learn. I'm using the tips I use to learn faster than other guitars. Because right now, I'll tell you, this is my ego speaking, by the way, so take this with maybe a grain of salt. There are guitarists that have been playing for years more than me, longer than me, yet I'm better than them because of the fact I took a different playing approach. Okay, I'm not very musically talented. I don't have perfect pitch. I think I'm a little bit tone deaf. It took me a long time to learn rhythm. I'll give you that right now. It took me a good bit. I'm not very musically talented. I wasn't raised around music. You know, I mean, my dad rocked. That's about it. You know what I mean? I wasn't raised around instruments. I played the violin for 1 year in 6th grade, okay? And, you know, I can't read sheet music. I mean, I know a little bit of music theory, not a lot. Just enough to, like, really where I can play the guitar well and know what I'm doing. But, you know, but because I had that approach on how I approach the guitar, I learned faster. I got better faster, okay? Now, this is a disclaimer. If you want to become a shredder, just speaking off like shredding experience here. If you want to be a shredder, when you start, you will suck ass. It's just inevitable. Every single great shredder sucked ass when they first started. They didn't immediately start fucking doing like crazy legatos. Okay? They sucked ass. It's just the inevitable. I started off with finger tapping. I sucked ass at it, got better at it, mastered it. Yeah, then I learned alternate picking. I sucked ass. Even for like, I think for 6 months, I just couldn't. No, actually, it was like, yeah, it took me a while. It took me like 8 months just to get like somewhat good. Or actually really good at it. I've basically mastered it now. At alternate picking. And I'm not talking about just like, you know, the little boom, 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 boom. I'm talking about like the fast fucking thing. That is something that will take you forever to learn. Okay? And you will suck at it. Me personally, amongst me sucking ass at alternate picking, shit, why is this so itchy? I learned how to do legato to like basically like ease my way out of it. And economy pick. Economy picking in legato is basically like alternate picking without all that fucking energy being wasted. Okay. And you're gonna want to learn that most definitely. It's very important, especially with stamina. You know, you're not gonna want to alternate pick your entire solo. And like legato is just kind of clean up your solo, for lead playing, of course. And you're gonna be able to play even riff like fucking rhythm faster. Like whenever it comes to like fucking Tornado Souls, for example, that little you know, that little riff right there. I use legatos on it. I'm not picking all of that. You know what I mean? You're just gonna play it cleaner and faster. Fuck. What's another thing? Now with discipline, I've been talking about mindset a little too much here. Discipline. Discipline is the most important thing. Discipline is so much better than motivation. It's like, I can't even, you know, you wouldn't even be able to comprehend that shit. I forgot my water jug downstairs. But discipline teaches you to play every day. Not just every other day like motivation does. Motivation wears off. And that's the truth. But with discipline does not wear off. Okay? If you are not disciplined, if you aren't consistent, because consistency is key. Like, for example, going to the gym. Okay? If there's gym bros fucking watching this shit. Consistency and discipline is key when it comes going to the gym. You need to think of it less like, oh, I want to go play guitar or I want to go to the gym. No, you have to think of it, I have to. You know what I mean? You have to set that boundary with yourself that, oh, I have to, I can't skip out on this. You know what I mean? Unless you're like on vacation, of course. You know, if your guitar is not with you, you know, you're not going to be able to play. You know what I mean? That's just common fucking knowledge. Don't beat yourself up on that. Just like, if it's right next to you and you're not playing, if you're not doing it and it's right next to you, that's something you can beat yourself up upon. And another thing, it's a little bit of a bad habit, but you'll learn faster. Be a perfectionist. Don't half-ass something. Perfect it. Become the best at it. Or not become the best, just be the best you can be. There's a difference. Becoming the best, that's basically self-harm. You don't want to go down that fucking rabbit hole of being the best. Because then you will literally drive yourself insane. You will be playing till 3 a.m. with blood all over your guitar, having to sit there fucking every 2 minutes super gluing your fingers and waiting for it to dry with like a blow dryer just to fucking play again. And that is basically self-harm. You don't want to go down that road. I know there's a shit ton of guitarists who did and got very good at guitar. But for the average Joe Schmo who doesn't want to have mental problems, don't do that. Just take it down the best you can be. Now, that does kind of encourage bad behavior when it comes to guitar, bad technique. Just even it out. You know what I mean? Know when to stop. Because me personally, I'm speaking from experience here. I didn't know when to stop playing guitar, and I played all day, every day. Okay? This was like the big fucking learning experience. I learned so fucking fast, but I became a perfectionist. And I wanted to be the best. Not just better, like the better self version of myself. I wanted to be the best. Kind of like with going to the gym. You know, you're going to try to be the best, not just better version of yourself, the best. It's a fucking hard, horrible road. Like I said, it's basically self-harm. You know what I mean? It's like self-harm without slitting your wrists. You know what I mean? And especially with like a bad mental state, where you're like in a very vulnerable mental state and you just latch on to whatever's near you, like the gym or the guitar or whatever, and you just latch onto it. It's not a fun time. You know what I mean? You try to become the best at it. And, you know, this is a yapping session. I'm just like trying to prepare, you know, you guys for what's the inevitable. You know, you will, unless you want to be a shitty guitarist. You know, this is what's gonna happen if you want to be the, you know, your best. So we're gonna get back to, I'm just fucking freestyling it here. There's no script. I didn't pre-plan this. This is just purely fucking yapping. And I warned you at that start of the video. This is a yapping session. But this is like good knowledge. This is like genuine advice, that you will eventually run into, especially as a beginner guitarist or someone that's trying to level themselves up. If you're trying to like get better, and you've been playing for a certain amount of time, you're just trying to make that leap forward, you're probably gonna want to watch my other videos that I'll post later. This is just my first one for beginners. Of course, I'm gonna go up. It's gonna be like a learning. You know, if you're a beginner, it's gonna go in levels like that, and you're just gonna get better and better and better. If you're a better guitarist, you're probably gonna want to jump ahead. If you're like one of the first watching this, and you're a better guitarist. It's gonna just wait. Honestly, just wait until I decide to post the second part 2 of this. Fuck. Back with the mentality. Like I said, I haven't said this, or I don't know if I haven't. But the major thing I see with shitty guitarists is they listen to shitty guitarists. Okay, and what do you mean by that, Adam? Elaborate. Most guitarists that I've met that have been playing longer than me, yet just significantly worse than me, and I'm just leagues ahead of them. And this is my ego talking, but you get what I mean. The main reason why I see that is because of the fact they're not pushing themselves. They're, a big part of playing guitar is listening to it. Okay? If you're not sitting there and listening to really good guitarists, you're not gonna become a really good guitarist. If you're sitting there listening to fucking in Kurt Cobain, for example. Kurt Cobain, absolutely horrible guitarist, but he's a good music writer. But he's a horrible guitarist. His technique is absolutely fucking horrible. It's like, I don't even want to get into it. Okay? If you specifically listen to him and he's your favorite artist, you are going to be significantly worse than someone whose their favorite artist is like Marty Friedman or Yngwie Malmsteen or Steve Vai or Joe Satriani. Okay? The reason why those people that typically listen to those guitars are so much better is because they listen to them. They listen to the art. I'm speaking from personal experience here. When you listen to an artist, you will play like them. You will integrate that into your own playing style. Okay? And what happens when you listen to too much Kurt Cobain? You're going to integrate his playing style into yours. And that's just going to hold you back. So I understand if you like his music, it's like kind of like alcohol. Don't listen to it every day. Listen to it every now and then, because some of his stuff's good, but don't listen to it avidly. Listen to better guitarists avidly. It's kind of like listening to music for your benefit. I understand if you're not a musician, if you're listening to Kurt Cobain, but if you are a musician, specifically a guitarist, don't fucking listen to him. He was just a good songwriter. That's it. And that's not like super hard. You know what I mean? That's just pure fucking luck, in my opinion. Yeah. That's mostly it for beginners and the mentality that you want to go into and the discipline that you're going to want to achieve with guitar. And I'll see you in the next video, the part 2 on intermediate level guitar playing. And that will go over just how to play intermediate and then how to approach it, how to get better at it, or what riffs or what songs I'd recommend. Oh, for beginners, almost forgot. For beginners, songs I would recommend to learn it depends on the genre, but if you're gonna be in rock and roll, AC/DC riffs. You want to go for like the more harder ones, more technically challenging ones for beginner, because you're gonna want to learn harder and harder songs. You're gonna want to learn songs that you cannot play. Just learn like the basics, and then fucking continue just learning harder and harder and harder and harder and harder songs. The reason why I say that is because if you were sticking with the easy shit, you're gonna be a shitty guitar player. If you get harder and harder and harder and you perfect it, not just I'm gonna play it half-assed and now I'm gonna move on to the next song. Perfect it. Fucking sit there day in, day out, perfecting that song. You will be so much better than someone who doesn't. And that's rock and roll. But for metal, I'd recommend Iron Man, Paranoid, Master of Puppets, even. Master of Puppets. It's just a very stamina song. It's very challenging in that accord, I guess. And then I don't know a lot of R&B songs, so I can't really tell you. Those are about the 2 genres I can tell you, because that's just off personal experience. Don't take my advice to heart, just take it into consideration. Okay, this is a different teaching style. It's more of a yapping session. It's a different teaching style than I'd say other guitarists have. It's kind of like Marty Friedman's teaching style, because Marty Friedman did a few interviews and he taught. You know what I mean? He showed you how to play. He showed you the mindset. And I took that to heart, basically, and I adapted that into my playing style, and it helped me immensely. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even you couldn't even fathom just how much learning one solo or one song can help you. Like, I mean, it will leap you so much further than you will be, like, literally you'll be in a week. You will be 10 times better than you were the week before. Listen, if you want to get to other genres besides metal, don't take my shit to like really heart. If you want to get to metal and you want to be a shredder, take my shit to heart, because it's good advice. You know what I mean? It's good advice. But that's it. I will see you guys part 2 of the shredding of the intermediate. It's going to be the intermediate. It will go over simple solos, shit like that. And bye-bye.